Why is there always at least one person basically yelling on the phone at every airport gate? A lot of stuff happening at the airport, I guess. I fly a lot for work, and regardless of country, there seems to always be at least one person who just yells at 110% volume on the phone with zero awareness or care. Like the 100 plus people who are sitting in close proximity really need to hear every word they say. Just shut up. Bloody hell. Someone I barely know asked me to change my established business branding for their hobby Instagram they set up 10 days ago. I blank, your arrangements here are so incredibly stunning. I hope this isn't a huge ask, but could you avoid this logo color scheme in the future? I've been trying to make this kinda unique for my blank branding. Also, I desperately need to pick your expert floral brain sometime. I wish we lived closer. I'm very, very new to this as a hobby on my end. The audacity, that is crazy. Hey, excuse me, for my personal sake, could you change how your brand looks, how your company is? Like, just wondering. Airport main character energy. I've been enjoying this sub, so I figure this is worth posting. This weekend, my mother and I went to pick up my father from the airport. As we were waiting for the luggage carousel to do its thing, I looked over at the escalator and was reminded of a video I'd seen where a girl started doing a TikTok dance in clear violation of a posted sign. I mentioned to my mom, "Hey, I've heard that TikTok dancers have gotten so bad they've been banned from using escalators to do their videos. I've seen a whole subreddit about these people." I didn't notice the girl at first, but I look in front of me and this girl is practicing one of these dance routines right in front of us. I probably should not have said anything, but because my mom didn't seem to understand the concept, I said to her, "There's one of them right now." It was 1 a.m. and she didn't hear me clearly and was confused, so I resorted to saying several times that I was talking about girl in the pink hoodie and then eventually actually pointing to her. The group main character was with, obviously her and her brother and her parents got their luggage and started walking towards us momentarily afterwards. After they passed us, her mother gets very close to me and just says, "Thank God." Good to know that these people are at least embarrassing their families, if not themselves. Guess dentists' wait times are too long. A short one, but I thought I'd share it. Me, my sibling, and my dad were in the dentist waiting room. In there, 2 people, one an irrelevant stranger, and the other, the main character, were also waiting. My pops was just there to drive me and my sibling, cause neither of us know how. The main character was at the desk a bit before their scheduled appointment, tapping their finger. They muttered to themselves about the wait a few times. Someone comes up to the desk, this session of appointments was after their lunch break for context, asks them if they've signed in. The main character annoyedly replies, "Yes," and answers likewise to their other questions. Everyone has been signed in, so people start getting called in for appointments. The stranger gets called in first, so the main character asks, "How much longer is it gonna be? I have things to do, so if it takes too long, I'll reschedule and leave." Person at reception says, "Not much longer," and this guy walks into the corner as my sibling gets called in. The main character more loudly utters, "I got an appointment at 12:30 and everyone is getting called in before me," and proceeds to leave. Walks out the door and goes all the way home. Guess they didn't realize those other 2 guys had appointments at 12:30 as well. I was the only one who didn't. Mine was a bit later due to time slots. I kid you not, around 2 minutes, maybe less, later, a dentist comes out looking for them, and they're gone. The worker goes outside and just no guy in sight. I got to go in early because of this. Now they have to wait until April for a new appointment. Some of the workers were talking about their shock in the matter. Hell, my sibling was talking with the person doing their teeth about the guy. Just gave everyone bad vibes. 2 minutes or 1 to 2 months, what would you choose? This guy thought the latter was more worth their time. That is insane. Like, also, what do you have going on that is at the same time as your dentist appointment? If you have a dentist appointment or an appointment for anything, I would think maybe set up an appointment on a day you're free, where you're not doing anything else. I don't know, maybe that just makes too much sense. Main character on red-eye flight. I was on an evening domestic flight overseas a couple days ago. Prior to boarding, a smug-looking 20-something guy was behind me, calling everyone on his contact list one after the other, talking extremely loud on speakerphone. Unfortunately, I ended up sitting in the row in front of him on the plane too. While boarding, he proceeded to talk on speakerphone until we had taken off, and he lost reception. A bit later, I had my earpods with some music playing, I could hear something over my music. This bloke had started watching a movie on his phone, full noise with no headphones on, a completely full flight. The noise was constant swords banging each other. That was it. I bit my tongue for over an hour before I gave him a mouthful. It wiped the smug look off his face pretty quick. Not one air hostess said to turn it down, nor did anyone around him, even though they were clearly frustrated at it. Anyways, turns out this main character shied away quickly when confronted and was a coward. And everyone clapped, right? No, I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe this happened. Maybe it did. I don't know. But the fact that no one else, even the people working on the plane, asked them to turn it down, I don't believe that. I feel like if you're listening to music loudly on a plane, people are going to be pissed. Everyone has headphones that listens to music or watches a movie or whatever. Just be respectful. Woman interrupting 16,000 person show because she couldn't hear. I went to the Nate Bargatze show in Boston the other day, which is in a huge arena, same place the Celtics and Bruins play. The stage was set up so it was in the middle of the floor so everyone could see. While the host was giving their opening set, not Nate, a woman from the front row gets up and approaches the stage to let him know that she can't hear him. Of course, he made a bit out of it, but imagine that level of entitlement. This isn't like a small comedy club, it's a stadium. And if the people in the bleachers could hear, I'm assuming the people on the floor could too. Oh, and apparently she was the only one. Everyone else seemingly didn't have an issue. Me thinks someone was wanting to make something all about them because they were in a big stadium. I don't know. Not first in line. Shout out to my local Honda dealership. I got to the dealer at 6:30 a.m. for a 7 a.m. appointment. Staff person comes in and says, "Got a woman who needs to get to the city this morning. She insists that we look at her car first." My rep, who's already processing me, knows I arrived first, asks, "Was she here first?" "No," the staff guy replies. "Then she's not first." It's really not that complicated, is it? It's not, and I'm glad this person gets it. Pretty cut and dry main character. Up until like age 8, I used to think that everybody and everything in the world stopped until I was in the area. I deadass thought there was literally no movement at all until I came on the scene. I don't know why. Alright, I'm not gonna clown on this person because they said up until they were 8. Vaguely, I feel like I also thought this at one point. It's like object permanence, you know? It's like young kids think things are not there if you're blocking them. Like if you can't see it, it doesn't exist. But then when you see it again, it's there again. You know what I'm saying? People who talk loudly in movie theaters. Went to watch the new Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie with my girlfriend today. No spoilers, but the movie was great. The experience was slightly tainted because there was a loud couple talking beside us. From what it sounded like, the girl didn't seem that interested or familiar with the Demon Slayer lore, as this is pretty far in the series, which is fine and all. The main issue was the guy, as he was loudly explaining to her the context of every character that appeared on screen. It got to the point where he was pretty much just thinking out loud and the girl he was with was just nodding. I was super tempted to confront him, but didn't want to risk a big commotion during the middle of the movie. I don't get why people come to the movies to do this. Seems like social awareness and respect for the public is becoming more rare these days. Dude, I remember when I saw Avengers Endgame in theaters, and I had the same exact experience, except he wasn't talking at normal level. But yeah, I remember him sitting with his girlfriend, and like Red Skull shows up, and I remember hearing him say, "That's Red Skull, he's from Captain America, the First Avenger," and was like proceeding to explain what happened to this character. And it's like, why are you here seeing a movie, such a pivotal film in this 10-year series, and it's like you didn't watch any of the other movies or do your research? Why are you here watching this movie? I don't get. Are you interested in the movie? What? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Guy on Pirates of the Caribbean with flashlights on for the entire ride. Oh, brother, Pirates of the Caribbean is my favorite ride at Disneyland. I would be livid. Let's hear about this clown. Last Saturday, I was on Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. Okay, so it is the original ride. That's what I'm talking about. And the voice on the loading dock literally just said, "No flash pictures, now off with you." And this TikToker sitting 2 rows behind me loudly said to his stream, "Oh, sorry, Chad, I didn't know this ride was this dark. Let me fix it for y'all." And proceeded to go through the entire ride with his phone camera on. The couple behind them politely told him to turn the flashlight off as it interferes with the the ride experience. And the streamer was like, but my audience can't see anything. As we pulled back in to unload, he still had the lights on, and the cast members had the craziest look of confusion on their faces and offered us a re-ride after having him get off. Well, that was really nice of them. Anyways, just trying to share a surprising experience of mine today. I'm shocked they didn't see him on the cameras. They can see the ride. They didn't see that he had a flash on. They can come over the speaker and say, hey, turn off the flash, you moron. You know that one? You've heard that one. Yeah, I know you're laughing. It's funny. Oh my god, I'd be upset. A girl thinks me sighing is a personal attack against her. This happened to me at the college dorms. I was making some instant noodles and was waiting for the water to boil. I don't like standing still while I'm waiting for something, so I paced around the kitchen. First, I should specify that the floor I'm staying at is rather small, so we only have one corridor, and the kitchen is an open space at one end of it, so you can see the entire floor from it, including the doors leading to each room. As I was pacing around, a girl walked out from a room that was at the opposite end of the corridor, so I was looking right at her. I didn't want to block her way, or just awkwardly step to the side, so I went to stand by the kettle, but still gave her enough space to walk past me. She didn't say anything at first, so I just looked at the kettle, but then I heard her say, "Why did you sigh when you saw me? Did I do something to you?" I was caught off guard, but quickly understood what was going on. You see, I tend to sigh a lot. I don't know if it's a specific neurodivergent thing or just one of my vocal stems, but it's something I do, often without realizing. My mom tends to get annoyed by it, but telling her I'm just breathing out loud usually calms things down. I realized I must have sighed right as I was looking at the girl, as she misunderstood it as me being annoyed or mad at her. I tried to explain to her that the sigh wasn't targeted towards her and how it's just a thing I do, but she wouldn't buy it. For some reason, she was convinced that I was doing it on purpose and started saying stuff like, "I didn't do anything to you," and "Stop doing that," in a rather annoyed tone, and even threatened to report me to the lady who was maintaining the dorms that day. I tried to calmly explain everything, but she just threatened to report me once again. That's when I realized what was going on. She was just trying to intimidate me. So I told her to go ahead and report me, and she probably did not expect that. She kept insisting how she was being serious, but I'd always reply with, "Go ahead," knowing damn well she wouldn't do it. Eventually, she realized she would not be able to intimidate me and went back to her room. Nothing became of the situation, as even if she did report me, she'd most likely get told to ignore me. I have no idea why she thought the sigh was targeted towards her. It wasn't even an explicitly annoyed sigh, just a regular one. Even if it was, then why doesn't she just ignore me? We're not roommates, we don't have the same classes, heck, I don't think we even study the same thing. The only time we see each other is when we happen to walk out of our rooms at the same time, which barely happens. If before she thought I didn't like her, now I definitely don't like her. I wouldn't. How dare an Uber driver not know who she was? It's microaggression, I tell ya. Imagine having a doctorate from Harvard, running a 7-figure company, calling an Uber black to go to the post office, and your driver asks if you're going to work. America is so wild. I don't think what he thought was an issue. Were you offended? So microaggressions are not an issue? What the f*** are you talking about? Get your head out of your ass. Waitress didn't pay special attention to me. Aww. 1 out of 5 stars. Do not recommend. The food here was really good, but the service was really terrible. The girl was new, so not her fault, but her manager just talked to her and never had her check on me. Only came to my table to bring the food, never smiled or had any conversation. All I felt was rudeness, to be honest. Will not return. Oh no, dude! The person working there was just doing their job, the thing that they are expected to do, that's all they're asked, and you're upset that they didn't smile for you? Come on, man, grow up. It's my daughter's wedding and she's not doing exactly what I want. Dear Care and Feeding, my oldest daughter, Elena, is breaking my heart. She is engaged to a nice enough man that she's been with for 5 years, but she has thrown out every tradition that is important to us. She won't wear an engagement ring because diamonds are ugly and not politically correct. I didn't know diamonds weren't politically correct, but she refused both an engagement party and a bridal shower. They won't create a registry, so my friends have no idea what to get them for wedding presents. Turns out she's not even inviting my friends to the wedding, just their own friends and family. She isn't having a bridal party, and her sisters are hurt because they wanted to be bridesmaids. I was so looking forward to shopping with her for a bridal gown, but she bought a plain white dress. Worst of all, she won't let her father walk her down the aisle because, in her words, she's, quote, not property to be given away. There is no reception, just champagne, no bar either, and wedding cake in the basement of the church. No wedding dinner, not even appetizers. No wedding toasts, no first dance because there's no band. I understand that Elena watched her younger sister turn into a bridezilla, but her sister did have a gorgeous wedding that we paid for. We are willing to pay for hers too, but she and her fiance are refusing to do anything we want. They are both doctors and can pay for what they want. Elena's father is ready to stay home rather than be ignored, and I'm not sure I want to be there either. How do we navigate this without alienating our daughter? Dude, it's like, a lot of it doesn't make sense to me either, but it's not my wedding. That's where it ends. There is no, well, I think you should, no, shut the fuck up. It's not your wedding. I don't care if it's your daughter. I don't care if it's a friend. It's like, you can make suggestions, but at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they want for their wedding. Let the passenger behind you rest. You still have another window. The passenger behind me closed the window shade to my left. I still had a window to myself, and I don't care for needless conflict. But like, that's not cool, right? This guy's expression, he's just, is this not kinda awkward, guys? Is this not kinda awkward sauce? Am I looking too deep into this situation here?